What invisible forces stand in the way of what we long for so passionately? Throughout life, amid efforts and dreams, an unsettling paradox emerges. We possess grand ambitions, yet at times, that vital energy becomes frozen in a state of inaction. The conflict is not due to a lack of will, but rather to an internal dance, a struggle between who we are on the surface and what lies deep within our mind. This phenomenon, explored with rigor and sensitivity by Carl Jung, invites profound reflection on human nature, unveiling a complex interaction between consciousness and the unconscious that challenges our simplistic ideas about motivation and effort. From Jung's perspective, the human being is not a one-dimensional entity but a tapestry interwoven with threads of light and shadow. The ambition that arises in the conscious realm represents the visible part of ourself, the aspect exposed to the world and committed to goals and projects. However, behind this image lies an unexplored territory, the unconscious. There reside fears, repressed desires, and unresolved conflicts that, though not immediately apparent, exert a decisive influence on our actions. It is in this realm that vital energy is halted, and what appears as laziness transforms into a defense mechanism protecting the individual from facing aspects too painful or threatening to their stability. The metaphor of the shadow powerfully illustrates this process. The shadow, according to Jung, is the repository of those qualities and experiences we have rejected or deemed unacceptable. These dark facets of our personality, when ignored or repressed, become obstacles to the fulfillment of our conscious desires. When a dream demands that we recognize and confront what we prefer to hide, the shadow manifests as internal resistance, a force expressed through delay, procrastination, or a kind of emotional lethargy. It is not merely a lapse or a weakness of character, but an encoded message from the unconscious inviting us to profound transformation. This internal struggle is akin to the journey of a navigator who, amidst turbulent waters, is torn between the safety of the shore and the uncharted horizon of the ocean. Every step forward carries the risk of facing the unknown, unearthing ancient wounds, and accepting the totality of oneself. The resistance we feel toward change is not a condemnation, but a sign that there are unfinished aspects, fragments of past stories crying out to be heard and understood. That sensation of being paralyzed, of being unable to move forward despite dreams burning in the heart, becomes an enigma demanding resolution. Within this complex equation, the defense mechanism acts as a sentinel safeguarding the integrity of the self. Faced with the possibility of a transformation that entails pain and a break from the familiar, the mind erects barriers to prevent an emotional catastrophe. The anxiety accompanying change manifests as inertia, an apparent laziness that is, in truth, the expression of a deep fear, the fear of losing stability, of shattering the delicate balance built over the years. Thus, what at first glance appears to be a lack of initiative reveals itself as a natural response to the challenge of confronting hidden aspects of our identity. It is no coincidence that many ambitions arise from external sources, such as social expectations or ideals imposed by our environment. When a dream does not spring from the authenticity of the self but is fueled by external pressures, the conflict intensifies. The disconnect between what we truly desire and what we believe we should desire generates an unsustainable internal tension. Ambition transforms into a burden, forcing us to follow a path that, deep down, does not belong to us. Unconscious rebellion then manifests as inaction, a way of preserving the essence that feels threatened by the imposition of foreign models. Delving into this territory of contradictions reveals an essential truth. The integration of the shadow is fundamental for personal evolution. Ignoring or repressing what discomforts us only perpetuates the conflict, keeping us in a state of constant internal division. Jung's proposal invites us to embrace the totality of our being, to recognize that every fragment, even the darkest, forms part of the complex symphony of existence. Only when a reconciliation between the conscious and the unconscious is achieved can an individual aspire to genuine transformation, to an integration that liberates vital energy and allows the realization of the deepest ambitions. The journey toward integration is arduous and, at times, painful. It involves venturing into one's inner labyrinth, where every bend conceals long-forgotten secrets and every shadow is a vestige of past experiences. The path is not linear. It resembles a series of slightly ajar doors, each inviting exploration of unknown territory while also confronting the possibility of uncovering unsettling aspects. Yet, it is in this uncertainty that the seed of change is found. Persistence on this journey, despite its difficulties, is the key to unleashing the hidden potential residing within each of us. The paradox of inaction in the face of ambition ultimately becomes an opportunity to learn to listen to the whisper of the soul. That inner voice, often silenced by the noise of the external world, holds the wisdom needed to transcend fears and move toward authentic fulfillment. The process of self-discovery reveals itself as an art, a discipline requiring patience and courage. Every obstacle, every moment of doubt, is an invitation to delve deeper into the essence of being, to uncover the roots of the conflict that hinders the flourishing of our dreams. As this enigma gradually unfolds, it becomes clear that what appears as laziness is, in truth, a call for transformation. It is as if the unconscious, through symbolic language, suggests that something important remains unresolved, a chapter left unfinished in the narrative of our lives. This sense of mystery, this underlying tension, drives us to question and investigate the reasons behind every action or inaction. The process is akin to piecing together scattered fragments that, when united, reveal a broader and more coherent image of the self. In the midst of this quest, it is crucial to distinguish between paralyzing fear and protective caution. Inertia is not always an enemy. Sometimes it signals that something vital is at stake. Resistance to change can be seen as a self-preservation mechanism, a way for the self to avoid yielding to a transformation that might destabilize its structure. Yet, remaining in this frozen state means forfeiting the opportunity to grow and evolve. Courage lies in recognizing the conflict and, despite the fear, taking a step into the unknown. Every step on this inner journey is imbued with symbolism and emotion. The challenge of integrating the shadow and reconciling conscious desires with deep-seated fears becomes an experience that transcends the mere pursuit of material success. It is a process of rediscovery, of learning to value every aspect of our being, even those we might prefer to keep hidden. It is in this full acceptance, in embracing our internal duality, that true liberation is found. Personal transformation becomes an act of self-love, a recognition that we are complex beings capable of transcending the limitations imposed by ancestral fears. The experience of facing this internal conflict can be compared to the work of a painter who, in expressing his deepest emotions on canvas, discovers an unsuspected palette of colors. Every stroke, every shadow, adds nuance to the final image, revealing a hidden beauty in what initially seemed like disharmony. Thus, what was once perceived as an insurmountable barrier becomes a source of inspiration for genuine growth. The paradox dissolves when we understand that repressed energy, far from being an obstacle, is the spark that ignites the flame of inner renewal. Transformation is not a singular event but a continuous process of confrontation and acceptance. The tension felt in moments of indecision becomes the engine for constant evolution, driving us to overcome limits and question pre-established paradigms. Every challenge, every moment when ambition is stifled by an unknown inner force, is an opportunity to deepen self-knowledge and to bridge the gap between the visible and the hidden. It is in that delicate balance between light and shadow that true strength is found, and where the potential for complete fulfillment is nurtured. Reflecting on this intricate web of forces, one realizes that the conflict between action and inaction is essentially a mirror inviting us to explore the deepest recesses of our existence. The internal struggle should not be seen as a curse but as the heartbeat of a vital process that demands to be heard from within. Every longing, every postponed dream, carries an invaluable lesson about the nature of being and the importance of embracing the totality of our experience. The path toward integration presents itself as a journey in which learning becomes palpable at every moment. The resistance we experience toward change reminds us that transformation demands effort and commitment, not only in the external realm but, above all, within the soul. It is a journey that challenges our most deeply held beliefs and forces us to rethink what it truly means to be free. Liberation does not lie in eliminating the shadow, but in learning to coexist with it, finding in that duality the strength needed to move forward. Throughout this quest, a window opens to a universe of possibilities where every challenge becomes an invitation to grow. The momentary inaction, far from being an insurmountable obstacle, signals that something significant is yet to be resolved. It is in that intermediate space, in the silence before action, that the seed of profound transformation is hidden. The feeling of emptiness, which sometimes accompanies a lack of movement, can be seen as a blank canvas upon which every brushstroke of courage and self-knowledge adds new colors to our existence. The value of embarking on this journey lies in the ability to look beyond the surface, to delve into the dark corners of the psyche with the certainty that every shadow holds a story, a lesson, and above all, an opportunity to reinvent oneself. The paradox of having ambitions yet not acting dissipates when we recognize that every moment of doubt is part of a larger process, a transformation that invites us to discover the very essence of what it means to live authentically. The invitation is to set aside criticism and complacency, to bravely confront the enigma hidden deep within, and to embrace a renewal that not only propels personal growth but also enriches every experience we live. The echo of this inner journey resounds powerfully in everyone who faces their own limits. The story of internal struggle, manifested in the apparent contradiction between dream and action, is a universal narrative connecting all human beings in the search for meaning. By understanding that inertia is really an invitation to decipher the messages of the unconscious, we open the possibility to transform adversity into a catalyst for change. Every step toward integration enriches the narrative, revealing that the path to personal fulfillment is essentially a process of reconciling with oneself. Throughout this journey, the seeker encounters moments of uncertainty and situations that challenge their deepest convictions. Yet every obstacle overcome translates into an inner victory, a significant step toward building a complete and authentic identity. Transformation, therefore, is not the result of a single act but the fruit of a constant commitment to self-knowledge and the integration of all parts of the self. The inner voice, once silenced by the clamor of the world, begins to resonate with a clarity that illuminates the way to the future. The power of this integration lies in our ability to accept the inherent complexity of human existence. When we learn to live with contradictions and see in inaction an opportunity to unravel the mysteries of the soul, a door opens to a horizon full of possibilities. The strength of transformation resides in the courage to face the unknown, in the determination to navigate the darkest recesses and, in doing so, discover a light that shines from within. Every step, every decision, becomes an act of self-love, a reaffirmation of our capacity to reinvent ourselves and to transform the paradox into a path of growth. This journey of self-discovery reminds us that true strength lies in the integration of all dimensions of our being. The struggle between conscious desire and unconscious fears is an intrinsic part of the human condition, a reminder that every experience, every shadow, holds incalculable value for personal development. The energy that sometimes appears lost in inertia is, in reality, the manifestation of latent potential yearning to be released. The key is to recognize and embrace that duality, allowing each fragment of existence to find its place in the symphony of life. At the end of this journey, it becomes evident that internal conflict is not a definitive barrier but the prelude to a transformation waiting to be unveiled. Inaction is transfigured into a symbolic language, a call to explore the depths of our being, to find in the mystery of the shadow the spark that ignites passion and determination. It is in that state of tension, in that waiting filled with promises and enigmas, where true change takes shape, where every heartbeat becomes an affirmation of our capacity to be reborn. For those who listen to these words, the message is clear. The contradiction between dream and action should not be seen as a limitation but as an opportunity to discover the transformative power that lies in the integration of the conscious and the unconscious. The experience of facing our fears, of unraveling the hidden messages within the inner silence, is the first step toward a full and authentic life. The path is arduous, and uncertainty may sow doubts at every moment, but every stumble, every moment of hesitation, is an invitation to delve deeper into the essence of being. At the vibrant crossroads of existence, where aspirations and fears converge, lies the possibility of a rebirth. The paradox, far from being an insurmountable obstacle, transforms into the mirror reflecting the totality of the soul. Every internal struggle, every fragment of shadow, is part of the great mosaic that forms our identity. The invitation is to not fear the unknown, but to embrace complexity with the certainty that within it lies the key to unlocking unprecedented potential. The voice of transformation resonates in the silence of the night, in the stillness before dawn, reminding us that change is possible when every part of us is integrated. The inaction that sometimes holds us back is merely the prelude to a discovery that propels us to transcend our own limitations. By looking inward with honesty, by accepting that internal struggle is the path to fulfillment, a universe of possibilities unfolds, where every dream, no matter how elusive, finds its reason to be. Finally, there is the invitation to transform apparent contradiction into a call for authenticity. The strength to act arises from understanding that every resistance, every hesitation, is a reflection of an ongoing process of construction. The path to personal fulfillment is a journey without shortcuts, a path in which every step, every fall, contributes to the formation of a more whole and aware self. By integrating the shadow and reconciling desire with fear, the very essence of freedom is unveiled, the ability to move forward despite doubts, to embrace the unknown with the confidence of one who knows that every challenge holds the seed of rebirth. These words, directed to you who listen with an open heart, seek to ignite a spark that illuminates the path toward a life in which ambitions become tangible realities. The invitation is to not let the silence of the unconscious extinguish the voice of desire, to transform every obstacle into an opportunity to grow, and to walk with the certainty that integrating every part of oneself is the path to a full and vibrant existence. Thus, in the echo of every breath and in the constant beat of life, lies the possibility of a future where passion and action merge in an embrace that transcends the ordinary, revealing the true essence of what it means to be human.